We are in the early stages of composing a brand new piece for choir, and we just finished harmonizing our first musical idea. But now we have some new ideas to throw into the mix, including a piano accompaniment.
Choral music from scratch.
Hey everyone, I have made some progress on the piece. Now this is still very rough draft. I've added a bit of an intro as well as exploring some other ways I can kind of present the melodic figure that we've introduced, which I think I'm getting pretty confident that this is going to be like the main melody because this intro that I made is kind of leading into that. And so I'm just going to play what I have and then I'll tell you a little bit more of what my thoughts are on this. And so there we go. This whole second part is the exact same as it was in the last episode, but I was really focusing on this last time I was working on it was this whole intro section here, and then this other way of stating the melody here. And again, a little bit different melodic statement and how we kind of did the harmony that second time around. So right now, what I'm thinking is I'm really liking this whole intro section here, and that's something I think I'm definitely going to stick with. I can definitely hear this being how the piece starts.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Now, what I am thinking right now, though, as far as presenting the melody, funny enough, and you heard it, obviously, I wrote this whole section here, as well as, I guess that includes this as well. I wrote all of that before we get to the original statement we wrote at the previous few episodes. But I think the way that this whole section sounds right here almost sounds like it should actually come after. So I might switch this. I might move this to be after this original statement. Maybe I'm just feeling that because I kind of fleshed out the harmony and the voices a little bit more, and it's forte, and it just sounds a little more climactic. But I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. This is one of the parts of composing that I really work hard to get right is the form of the piece. But an even better way I like to think of it is the pacing of the piece. Form is, of course, like the order that different melodies are presented and when they're repeated and things like that. But to me, that's different from just pacing, which is how are these melodies and these harmonies presented in a way that keeps it fresh to the listener, that makes them want to keep listening and not get bored, while still simultaneously bringing back previous musical material so that it's also familiar and easier to connect to as a listener.
3 hours later.
Okay, new update. A lot of new updates, actually, on how the progress on the piece has been going. I was working on developing the melody and the harmony. I kind of added an intro idea, and just for reference, the original intro idea I'd had was, let's see if I can find it right here. I'm just going to play this little snippet of it. And the truth is, after everything that I've worked on since the last episode, I honestly don't know if I'm going to keep this in here because I've come up with another intro, or at least what I think would be used as the intro, that I think would kind of take the place of this. So again, we'll see if I actually include it at a later point. But yeah, this is the reason I've got a new intro, and again, I'm just going to play a part of it. I'm sure you can see I already have some accompaniment written, but I'm not going to play that yet. But this is the little figure I have. Yeah, so I think this is actually what the intro is going to be. And then, as you can see here, I've now added a solo. So I'll be honest, I don't typically, at least based on my previous works that I've done, I don't usually have a lot of solos in my music, but this is one that I really felt like the mood that this is kind of turning into could really use a solo as the to introduce the main melody, and so that's what I have written here. You already know what that sounds like, so I won't play that. And then the other big thing, of course, is the accompaniment. That is the big piece that I have written since the last episode. I heard right where I have it written, accompaniment right here. This is kind of the sound I had, and I'll just play it. And again, I can't really explain how I thought of it. I was just playing around, and this just kind of popped into my head as I was listening to what I'd written so far. Something along those lines. And so in context, I've also added a little bit more, yeah, in context, this is what it all sounds like together so far. And then it goes right back into that same intro I made that I had at the beginning. So funny enough, I've been working on this whole section, and if I scroll all the way back, here's where we were originally in the last episode. So I've kind of been working my way forwards, backwards. I don't know how to describe that, but inserting more material before the music that I've already written. So again, I've noticed that's kind of how I tend to work. So again, we will see if I even end up using this original kind of intro I made. I think I might even change some things from that very first figure I made over here, but again, we'll see, and I will keep you all updated as I head on to the next iteration of this piece.